Hey everyone, welcome to Mix It Up Art. Today we are going to be making this rustic American flag star. To get started, you're going to get a sheet of square white printer paper, and we're going to start by taking this bottom portion and folding it up to the top. So you want to make sure that everything is lined up as best as you can, and then press and fold. So your paper should stay like this where you can open it from the top. And what you're going to do is bring this bottom corner here on the right up to about 1/3 down on the left. So this here is about 4 inches. So 1/3 of 4 inches is about 1 1/3. So I will fold this to about 1 1/3. And once it's lined up here, then I'm going to press it down. I like to keep both of my fingers on each corner and use the other one to straighten it out. Once that's done, you can see that there's a triangle here. We're going to fold this backwards. So what I'm going to do is fold it here. I want it to line up on this side here. So usually I like to start at the corner, make sure that that's lined up first. And then once the rest of that is lined up, go ahead and press down. Now you're going to have two halves, kind of like two triangles here with this one that can flip up. And this one you're going to fold back now. So same thing, I'm going to pick it up, fold it backwards, start at the corner here, since that's the hardest part. You want to make sure that everything's lined up. So push this in a little bit so that everything is perfectly flat. Once everything is lined up, then you can press down. Now you should have the smaller triangle on the bottom on your right side and the bigger one on the left if you are right-handed. If you're left-handed, you are going to flip it over and cut this way so that the smaller triangle is on this side and the longer one is on the right. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to flip it back this way. And now what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm basically going to cut this into a triangle. So I'm going to cut at an angle and just cut a little triangle off the top here. And then once you open it, you have your star. Now my star is a little bit fatter than what I'd like. So what I'm gonna do is just fold it back up. And instead of making the cut into a perfect triangle, I'm going to cut a little bit more off the bottom here. So I'm going to cut in here and cut straight up. Now you're going to notice that you have your star once you're happy with the shape. Now all you have to do is kind of refold the lines. So the longer lines that go to the point of the star should be folded so it's going up, just like this one is here, but the rest of them are folding down. So I'm just going to flip it and fold it so that fold is facing up. Then the smaller ones should be folded down. So these two are folded down, but this one's up. So I'm going to fold the shorter ones down, going in the other direction. And now my star is ready to be painted. To paint the star, you're going to want a thin paintbrush, and we're going to start with the white paint here. You're going to start with the upper portion of this right side and just paint that white. Then you're going to skip the lower side, and then on the upper side of this bottom one here, so it will go white, red, and then white again. We'll paint another section of white. We're going to skip this because that will be red, so this one over here will be white. And you only need to do 3 white sections. So I have my 1, 2, and then 3. I'm going to wipe off my paintbrush. And then I'm going to get my red paint. And remember, so underneath of this white one, this next one's going to be red. And I'm going to paint the opposite side of each point that I painted white. So if I had one side white, the other side's going to be red. I'm going to do that with each one of those 3. Now I want to flip it back, and I'm going to do one section of red on the upper right side. So there should be 4 sections of red and 3 sections of white. And you should have 3 sections right next to each other that don't have any paint. So now I'm going to wipe off the red paint, and I'm going to get some blue, and I'm going to paint these 3 sections blue. Once that's all painted, I'm going to use the back handle of my paintbrush get some white on that and add in some white dots. So once you're done adding your dots, you are going to move this off to the side to dry. And then you're going to get a sheet of white construction paper. And I want you to hold this landscape style so it's wider side to side than it is up and down. You're going to start by actually drizzling some white paint on your paper. And you're going to use a thick paintbrush and basically just smear that white paint side to side, all the way from one side to the other. Once your paper is covered with a nice layer of white paint, you're going to use the paintbrush and just pick up some brown paint. You don't need to clean it off. And you're just going to go add in some stripes of brown. And I don't want to mix too much. I just want to move quickly here, side to side. And now you're going to do the same with some black. And now what we're going to do is get a ruler. And you're going to put the ruler just about halfway through your paper. And we're going to bring back that tiny paintbrush, and I want you to get some black paint here. And just above the ruler, you're going to paint onto the ruler and onto the paper. Just add a quick stripe of black paint. Then you're going to bring the ruler down a couple inches and do the same thing. And then one more line towards the top. Now, if you want to, you can use some of that black and brown paint and just kind of paint in maybe some swirls or little dashes, just adding in little details. And sometimes I like to go back over the edges and just make them a little bit darker because usually I don't have a ton of paint there. Once you're happy with your background, you're going to bring back your star. You might have to reshape it, so just be careful in case it's still a little bit wet. If you want to wait until it's totally dry, that's always an excellent idea. But you just want to make sure that those lines, the longer lines, are facing up and the shorter lines are facing down. And now this next part is also completely optional. I like to make this look a little more rustic. So I mix up some brown, a little bit of black, and some white and test it out first so you have the right color. I like it to look a little bit like rust. So once I get the right color, I'm just going to paint it on all the longer lines just at the top. So very gently and kind of messily. Once that's done, I'm going to figure out where I want to place my star, get some glue. I'm just going to add a dab of glue at each corner. And I'm going to place down my star. Very, very gently press down on the corners. And that's it. That's all there is to our rustic American flag star. Don't forget, if you want to leave me a comment or tweet me a picture of your artwork, to follow me on Twitter at MixItUpArt. And as always, have fun.